What's up, guys? Welcome to Colton Photography Reviews. I'm Sean Colton. Today we're going to be talking about two camera cages from SmallRig and how they can help you get a handle on your GH5. I got to use SmallRig's 2049 cage, the new model for the GH5, along with trying it against their old model on a project just recently for one of my friends in the burlesque community here in Montreal. We were creating a commercial for her. We needed something that would allow me to properly rig out a rented GH5, and I want to thank Photo Service in Montreal for giving me a really great deal on the GH5 for the project. Now, both these camera cages have the ability to take their XLR top handle assembly. Bolts right onto the front of the camera cage and nicely fits around the Panasonic XLR module for the GH5. What's really nice about the XLR top plate is it allows you to both mount a NATO style handle either above or in front of the module. Personally, I like it in front because I find that balances longer lenses a little bit better and allows me to get the handle a little bit lower. Even includes a nice little lock on its NATO rail, so if you loosen the handle, you aren't going to actually drop the camera. But in addition, it allows you to still have the cold shoe mount on top, but also multiple 1/4-20 and 3/8 mounting points, including two ARRI standard locating pin mounts. These I absolutely love. I haven't transferred over to using them that much yet, but it really allows you to properly mount accessories that won't twist. And you're seeing these pop up a lot in other manufacturers such as Wooden Camera and others. However, Zacuto still hasn't seemed to grab onto this yet. It's an area that I definitely feel they're falling behind, and SmallRig's right at the front. The area that really differs, though, I find on the new 2049 cage is the right-hand side. Now, there are a couple reasons why I like the new design better over the original. The original has a very straight up-down section that actually sits just in at the front of the GH5 grip. Personally, I find this actually gets in my way for being able to grab the camera's grip, which I still really like to do, even in video shooting, and I don't want an extra handle that I'm attaching to the side. Now, you do sacrifice some NATO rail space compared to the original. However, what's additionally nice, aside from having the scallop cut out so you can properly grab the grip, my other key point that I don't think many people have noted is it moves the handle strap mounting points on the cage back from in line with the original NATO rail, which would put it very far forward, brings it back to being in line with where the GH5's original mounting points are, and gives you two nice solid mounting points. Now, even with the scalloped cut grip on the new cage, it still gives you a bit of NATO rail that if you want to attach something to it, you certainly can, and there's enough room for most NATO clamps on this location. But the other big advantage is it opens up and really provides the right access to the buttons on top of the GH5. The original cage, I truthfully found, did block some of the buttons for me, and some of those I find are very critical while I'm shooting, and I don't want them blocked. A cage for me is not ultimately only to protect the camera. It's to mount stuff off of, but I'd never want it to get in my way. There's a very big reason why I don't use a full cage on my Canon 70D. And if you've seen my rig, you'll notice it's just the half cage. But I like a form-fitted cage if I'm going to use a camera-specific cage. And up until now, the 8-SIN camera cage for the GH5 was my go-to. However, at its price point, it really is almost 3 times the price of the SmallRig GH5 cage. This new GH5 cage from SmallRig satisfies so many of those additional points that the 8-SIN cage covered that made me love it. And honestly, the big point was the scalloping around the grip. One other advantage of the new cage over the previous GH5 cage is the actual bottom of the cage is more complete. It fits the entire width of the camera. While there are advantages to the old cage of it taking up less space, there's still plenty of room for the battery door to open, and my only fault on the bottom is that unfortunately, even though the original cage had it, the new cage no longer has the mounting holes for the up and down rods. And I feel like this is a little bit of a sacrifice when, truthfully, I feel like there is no reason to have lost that in the design. One of the advantages of the small rig cages for the GH5 is they actually integrate a Metabones lens adapter right into the front of the cage. Unlike a lot of other manufacturers that are a part of a quick release base plate or other plates that you have to have on the bottom, the lens foot replaces the Metabones stock foot and nicely, really nicely integrates straight into the cage and makes it a hard and solid locked piece with even a 1/4-20 at the bottom that I can line up with a quick release base plate. In my use, having that solidly mounted Metabones adapter was a huge advantage. Between these two cages, I would say that the new one personally is my preference. However, if you can pick up the old one for a good price, it's definitely still a great cage that will help protect your GH5 and allow you to rig it up. The 2049 cage and XLR top module I would highly recommend for anyone that wants to rig their GH5 for cinematic production, and it's definitely something that I will be using going forward. So if you guys liked our review of the 2049 cage from Small Rig for the Panasonic GH5, check the description box below where you will find links to both buy it on Amazon in Canada and the US. Those are affiliate links and they help support our channel anytime you buy from it. Otherwise, you can go to smallrig.com and purchase them right from there. And if you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We're producing new content all the time. We have new material already in the works, including a behind the scenes with a Russian fighter jet, maybe even some cosplay. You should check it out. Might even be here.